Hey y'all, it's Colson from Tokenomics, and today we'll be taking a deep dive into altcoins. We're looking at what is an altcoin, the purpose of cryptocurrency aside from Bitcoin, how to measure and compare these to Bitcoin, as well as key tokenomic factors that I look for when I'm thinking about putting a cryptocurrency in my own portfolio. I'll be adding a personal take on the end for reasons why we may or may not need cryptocurrency aside from Bitcoin. Not financial advice, do your own research. Now let's get into the video. Now, first things first, you're probably wondering, what is an altcoin? And if we pop that into our handy dandy search bar, we can see a variety of websites pop up telling us what is an altcoin, a beginner's guide, different types with examples. And the baseline is that an altcoin is a Bitcoin alternative. If we look right here, it says an altcoin is an amalgamation of alt referring to alternative and coin referring to cryptocurrency. And that basically just means it is a Bitcoin alternative, an alternative to Bitcoin as far as cryptocurrency. If we pop over to TradingView, we know Bitcoin is the first digital currency, and that is why it is referred to as digital gold. And we can pop over to these total 2, total 3, and we see that this is the total crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin. That means that T2 right here is the total cryptocurrency market cap, period, because Bitcoin is not cryptocurrency, but cryptocurrency is Bitcoin. Type of a rectangle is a square, but a square is in a rectangle type of thing. Now, examples of things that are within this T2, this crypto market cap without Bitcoin, examples of altcoins are things such as Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, Injective, Link, meme coins such as Doge, Pepe, things of that nature. These are all altcoins. These are all cryptocurrencies. They are alternatives to Bitcoin within the digital realm. As far as the purpose of altcoins, we're going to take a look at Ethereum and use Ethereum as an example. This is coming directly from the ethereum.org website. As you can see here, it says Ethereum network acts as a foundation for communities, applications, organizations, and digital assets that anyone can build and use. This is kind of the main thing here. Anyone can build and use Ethereum, build upon Ethereum, use Ethereum. Bitcoin was created solely as a store of value and as a decentralized digital ledger. Ethereum offers a variety of other products and things that Bitcoin does not attempt to tackle in the slightest. And that's why a lot of people kind of argue that Ethereum can be better than Bitcoin, something I wholly disagree with. But Ethereum is the best example of an altcoin, as it is the strongest altcoin by market cap. It is the second highest digital asset by market cap, with Bitcoin being the only thing in front of it. And this is Ethereum. This is what Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum, I'll pop him up on screen right now. This is what he created, and it is the first altcoin, the first real potential contender with Bitcoin. And as we can pop over to coin market cap, and we can see that by market cap, Ethereum is second, with Tether and BNB, both of which are stable coins, being shortly behind. Or BNB is not a stable coin, but Tether being the only close thing behind, and is still a third of the market cap of Ethereum. This is just off the coin market cap website. And as far as other altcoins, there are a variety. These are the ones that I mainly look at. But another section of altcoins are meme coins, which are just these kind of shit coins, for lack of a better terminology. And it's just kind of random little internet memes and things that they're pump and dump scams. People look to make a bunch of money on them. They look to profit, make a ton of money off them, and then they sell them and they rug pull them. And which is why when you look at a lot of these cryptocurrencies, these meme coins, these altcoins, you see that they spike. Dogecoin is the most popular meme coin by far. They spike a ton, very sharp uptick, and then they're just down. And they're down massive percents from where they jumped up to. These are rug pulls. They're pump and dump schemes. And a lot of people use these altcoins, this section of altcoins, for example, to buy more Bitcoin. Because ultimately, Bitcoin is the digital gold. It is the final destination. So a lot of people trade altcoins of things of this nature, especially the rug pulls and pump and dumps with memes. They trade all of these things just to stack more Bitcoin. Once it jumps, they rug pull on all the other investors, sell, make a ton of profit, leave everyone else out to dry, and they stack sats. They stack little itty bitty bits of Bitcoin while leaving the rest of the people that invested with them in the dust. And that is kind of the main purpose of altcoins as far as trading goes. It is either as Ethereum to build and create something on top of Bitcoin, or not on top of Bitcoin, but using the technology and the framework that Bitcoin outlined, building and trying to make something better, essentially offering more variety to how it can be applied, or as rug pulls with pump and dump schemes through meme coins. These are kind of the two main functionalities between altcoins. They fall in one of these two camps right here. Now, as far as measuring and comparing altcoins to Ethereum, we're going to take a quick look at the Bitcoin USD valuation on TradingView. Now, we understand that altcoins are utilized and they're built as an alternative to Bitcoin, which there will never be ultimately, or to rug pull, to pump and dump, to rug pull investors to kind of take money from people and ultimately buy back into Bitcoin, as Bitcoin is the digital gold. You can't beat Bitcoin, so they kind of create these false ideas that they can, and then once people buy into them, they sell them and move those profits into Bitcoin. They stack sats is what that is called. So we're going to look at Bitcoin USD. We see that it previously topped in the year of 2021 twice, in April and November. And Bitcoin is currently at that valuation. We are currently roughly at those peaks. If we look at the T1, this is the crypto total market cap, including everything up and down, especially Bitcoin. Or we can see that the line, the current mark, is just kind of right at those peaks, right below those peaks. If we look over at total 2, this excludes Bitcoin. We are a little bit farther below those peaks, but this includes Ethereum, which is the second largest market cap as far as this realm of things in this market. And if we look over at total 3, this is kind of the big one we want to look at. We can see that we are way below these two peaks from 2021. We are currently way below those two peaks. And this is the crypto total market cap excluding BTC and Ethereum, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. And that is because Bitcoin is a store of value. Altcoins are ultimately rug pulls, or they don't have the same utility that Bitcoin does, and they fall and they fail in the short term or the long term. The only real altcoin that has had any sort of utility or strength over a long time frame is Ethereum. And as we can see here, Ethereum is kind of what boosts up this T2 market cap. It's without Ethereum, altcoins just bleed against Bitcoin, and they never recover. They never really get back to where they were. And that's really just to hammer home the point that the majority of people buy altcoins. They trade altcoins in order to buy more Bitcoin. They trade altcoins for these little percentages in order to buy back into Bitcoin. Now, if you want to partake in that, you want to participate, then Bitcoin itself is typically a leading indicator for the entire crypto market. And that means that when Bitcoin goes up 5%, alts will typically also go up roughly 4 to 7%. There will be a little bit more volatility, a little bit more variety to that. But that's just because they're not as stable. They're not a store of value like Bitcoin is. They don't retain their value as much, not by a mile. And so Bitcoin kind of leads the charge on that. Altcoins have a lagging price action comparative to Bitcoin. And that's just because they're not as good. They're not digital gold. And that's really something you want to hammer home here. A lot of people trade altcoins not in the long term, but in the short term in order just to stack more Bitcoin. Because if you look at these charts, we can see that Bitcoin by itself stands tall, whereas the rest of these altcoins, the rest of these cryptocurrencies, they ultimately bleed. They pump up and then they bleed. And it's really never quite the same. And this is really highlighted by the BTC.D indicator, which is the Bitcoin dominance, and is the market cap Bitcoin dominance, just the percent of the total market cap the percent of T1 that is made up of Bitcoin. And as you can see here, since the start of January 2022, since 2 years ago, the start of 2 years ago, Bitcoin dominance is up 46% from roughly 39 to 57 where it currently is. And that is because Bitcoin holds strong. Bitcoin can stand on its own. And whereas the majority of altcoins, they cannot. They just can't. They don't offer the same utility. They don't offer the same store of value. They're not as strong of an investment from the pattern, from what history has shown. Now, as far as going over some of the key tokenomics that I look at when I am potentially thinking about buying an altcoin for the short term within my portfolio, the first thing I always do is I always go to their website. So like I said, we're using Ethereum for this example, so hop over to the ethereum.org, and this is their About section, and it just kind of, gives a little rundown on what Ethereum is, and kind of the big thing is being their mission. You want to know what the product is about. You want to know what the project is about, the community behind them, what they have in mind for users. The community is kind of the biggest driving thing behind an altcoin, because without the community, no one is going to be able to buy it. No one is going to be pushing it to the world. So the community is kind of one of the biggest qualitative factors that I look for, and you can find a lot about that within the about of any official page for an altcoin. This is just the ethereum.org's about page. You want to look at their core principles. Like I said, you want to know what the project is about. They're always evolving. It's not a typical product website. I'm sure not everyone says that. That was sarcasm. And their product roadmap, kind of how they roll out new projects, build on what they already have. That's really important, because you don't want to buy a project that's stagnant, that doesn't have any evolution to it. So you can go here, you can see, the 2024 Q3 product roadmap for Ethereum, on their design principles, their system, their style, all of the basic little qualitative things that you want to know about. This probably being the hardest set of data. You want to understand the roadmap. You want to see your project evolving. You want to see what can come out of it. And a lot of that, kind of the basis for that, is the white paper. The white paper is just the introductory paper, typically written by the founder, and just outlines what the project is at the baseline level, minus all the evolution, all the little gadgets that have been added on over the years. As you can see here, this was the original, published in 2014 before the project launch in 2015. So this typically presides the actual project and helps you get a basis for understanding, what the project consists of. And looking here, mining Merkle trees, alternative blockchain applications, scripting. It gives a rundown for the project, and that's one of the most important things. And again, if we pop over to CoinMarketCap, we're going to look at a little bit more quantitative stuff, and the biggest thing for me, because Bitcoin has a limited supply, a finite supply, that is the biggest tokenomic that I look for. And the total supply here, and this is the total amount of coins created for Ethereum. 120 million coins have been created, and its max supply is infinite, which is typically a very big red flag for me. This is a huge red flag, as far as an infinite amount of coins can be created. So it may potentially might not want to be something that I would want to buy, because it potentially could have very high inflation because of this. Another big thing would be market cap. If it has a big market cap, that typically may mean it's a stable project or kind of an established project. So you're not getting in really early, and you're not at a super high risk for a rug pull, a pump and dump. Ethereum, like we know, is the second biggest in this space by market cap by a long shot, with USDT being the only close contender at third. So Ethereum is a very, very established project. It has been around since 2015. It was first kind of written into existence by Vitalik Buterin in 2014, and it has a very strong market cap. So these are all green flags, despite this max supply being potentially infinite. That is a red flag, but these are the biggest things that I look for when I'm looking to measure into whether or not I would want to buy an altcoin for my portfolio. And then obviously, kind of a very obvious one is previous price action. As we can see, Ethereum is kind of on an uptrend. The trend line is upwards. It hasn't fallen too low, obviously. Just looking at that's the very obvious one. But the biggest thing for me is their white paper, their project roadmap, the founders behind it and their history, the market cap in tandem with the max supply, and the kind of core tokenomics that you can find right here in the coin market cap under any specific token. As far as if there's any need for a cryptocurrency aside from Bitcoin, I'm in the boat that there's nothing ever that should replace Bitcoin or even try to replace Bitcoin. There's just no purpose in that. Bitcoin has worked perfectly for 15 years. Its network and stability has continued to grow along that time frame. There's no other digital currency that has had that sort of longevity combined with that sort of stability for that long of time. Bitcoin is the first digital currency, and there's just nothing that should try to replace it, especially as a store of value. I do believe that there is purpose for cryptocurrencies such as XRP or Chainlink that can be built on top of Bitcoin's framework and kind of link these modern institutions and these modern ways of thinking that have come from Bitcoin, combined with the older and more traditional ways of thinking from TradFi. Traditional finance is kind of the first thing that pops to mind with XRP, and kind of linking these two ecosystems together. I believe there is purpose for cryptocurrency on top of Bitcoin and to build on top of the framework that Bitcoin has laid, but I don't think there should ever or will ever be any sort of cryptocurrency that replaces Bitcoin, especially as a store of value or just as digital gold. I don't think that will ever happen, but I do think there is purpose for cryptocurrency to build on the framework that Bitcoin has established. If you found this video insightful, educational, entertaining in the slightest, please like, follow, subscribe, all that good old stuff. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.